What I'm going to explain today is a cool tip to be able to maintain your connection to flow throughout the whole day. Hi, how you doing? I'm Wilson, and everything on this channel is for you to get into the flow state. Cheeky, I know what you were thinking. Okay, so what I'm going to explain today is a cool tip to be able to maintain your connection to flow throughout the whole day. A lot of people, what happens is they push themselves too hard and they come out of flow, or they need a kick up the ass to get themselves motivated to get into flow. I'm going to show you this simple tip that will allow you to maintain the coherence for you to be performing the specific task that you're doing in flow. Okay, cool, I know. Right, to get there, I need to explain these two things here. So the components that we express in flow, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the godfather of flow, is a guy that surfaced up with these specific ones. He actually got 8. So I'm only going to speak about these two. You need to have clear goals and the skill challenge ratio. These are the two that I'm going to focus on today. But he says clear goals, and what I would like you to do is to score out the S and just have one clear goal. Okay, one clear goal, that's it, one. Now the skill challenge ratio on this side, ladies and gentlemen, skill challenge ratio, meaning that flow lies in a progressive balance, this line here, between your challenge and skill level. So there needs to be a progression there, right? A little bit of push, a little bit of resistance. Now what Csikszentmihalyi would use is you need to have a progressive balance between boredom and anxiety. Okay? That means that you need to have that little bit of push, not too much. Now how I look at it is I look at it between the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. You see, when you're in flow, there's a consistent push and pull between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. You have an opportunity to tune in and allow yourself to be connected to this progression line throughout the whole journey, which is pretty cool, right? So what they say about this progressive line here, right, as it gradually progresses up, what they say is that there's a 4% rule. There's a 4% of growth, a 4% of progression. Because I come from the fitness background and activity, martial art background, I like to work from what's called the rate of perceived exertion, okay? So what they do is they use 1 to 10 as a gauge, 1 being piece of cake, 10 being stop, okay? How I like to measure this here is I like to use the 7 as my gauge for the feeling of being in flow from a specific task. Now the feeling, the connection, the push and pull, the yin and yang, is between your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, right? So always going between the two, tuning yourself in according to the challenge and your skill level of the specific task, whatever it may be. The one specific task, because you have a clear goal at the end of this, right? The end of this specific task that you're going to be doing. So the way to allow yourself to tune into it is being aware that when you breathe in, sympathetic, and when you breathe out, parasympathetic. Cool, that's it. So you're conscious of your breathing. When you breathe in, you're going to be stimulating your sympathetic nervous system, and when you breathe out, your parasympathetic nervous system. Now the next thing that you want to do is you only want to breathe through your nose. You want to do what's called nasal breathing, right? You can call nose breathing, whatever you want to call it, nasal breathing. You're only breathing in and out through your nose. The reason why this and why it's so great for you maintaining a state of flow is because you have a tendency to just draw in enough. When you mouth breathe, there's so many negative effects for mouth breathing, whereas if you just simply breathe in your nose, you're going to have more control over the amount of oxygen you're bringing in. Sneaky, I know. And the other cool thing is that when you breathe in quickly, sympathetic, when you breathe out and you extend the exhalation, okay, you're going to further stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, therefore calming yourself down. So here's the scenario. You are performing your specific task in flow and something happens. Maybe an external stimulus. You get a phone call, the phone rings, you get distracted. What happens? You're more likely to push yourself out of here, right? You're pushing yourself to be more sympathetic. Your body's getting a bit more in that fight or flight response, a bit more stressed out. Now you feel yourself coming out, right? So what do? You emphasize your exhale. You emphasize your parasympathetic nervous system to allow yourself to come back down. And what that does, what that does is it gives you this feeling that you're doing this. You're working more like this here. There's a consistent push and pull. There's a dance between those inhale and exhale, allowing you to maintain that sense of flow throughout. Pretty cool, pretty simple, I know, but very, very effective. It's a good example, mostly for like if you're sitting at a desk working and maybe the phone rings, or you see maybe on your phone that somebody is trying to contact you. It's going to break your focus and concentration. You're a little bit like, what's going on? A little bit busy-minded. You reconnect further to your breathing. You emphasize your exhale through your nose, stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. Phone goes up here, and you bring yourself back down into your flow, tuning in to the challenge and skill of the task. Okay? So, in a nutshell, close your mouth, breathe through your nose, and do one task at a time. Hey presto. That's how you can get into flow and maintain flow on a specific task. Thanks for listening. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, then once again, how did you get this far? I don't know how you got this far, so maybe you do like it. Give us a thumbs up. Come on. Thanks for listening. See you soon. Ciao.